Alright guys, to the best of my ability I wanted to show you how to properly move a 7.3 or 6.9 IDI injection pump. First off, I've already done it on this engine. You'll take a 5/8 wrench, you'll loosen all your line nuts on top of your injectors. That way you can leave the high pressure lines right on the pump itself when you remove it. You're going to want a few tools. I've already pre-staged this pretty much to make it for fast removal, but you want to remove all your connections on top of the injection pump, your terminal leads. Take a picture if you must, so you know where they go back when you reinstall it. Take all that off. If you're swapping an injection pump over, you're going to want to make sure it's more or less with the E4ODs that you have the correct actuator and the TPS slash, it's also called a FIPL sensor, and the actuator that goes on the side of the injection pump shaft here, because that is different than the standard C6 and the manual transmissions. And also this little, for the C6s, they had a special bracket assembly here for the kickdown rod, and the C6s had a vacuum regulator valve on the side. You want to make sure if you're swapping injection pumps, you swap all that over, and you do more research on the forums how to properly set those for an auto trans. I take a flathead screwdriver, I pop off my, well, it's not going to cooperate now, but I pop off my accelerator cable, pop that off. Like I've said in previous videos, you do not want to remove the injection pump via these top 4 bolts. That will remove the gear housing and the gear entirely, and you will have to reset the gear into static time. And if you haven't done that before, it can be a little tricky. It's not horribly difficult, but it's just easier to do it this way. And you take off this front cover here, 2 1/2-inch bolts, take a screwdriver, pop it behind that cover, pop that off. Might need a hammer and a screwdriver or a chisel to pop it. Then behind that cover is 3 5/16 12-point bolts that hold the injection pump to the gear itself. Take those out. You will need a 12-point socket to get those out. So pop those out. Then next here, I made a custom ground 9/16 wrench so I can get to the nuts on the back of this timing cover stud, which holds the pump to the timing cover here. I've already loosened them up, but as you can see, I custom ground that end and custom ground the open end to get those nuts up. I already loosened them up, so, well, thought I did. That one's still got a little bit more to go. But and I take off this accelerator bracket, cable bracket, makes it easier to pop the pump off. I loosen my line nut here on the feed line for the injection pump, and I simply take the fitting and pop it that way, so now this line can move freely. And let's see if I can get this pump nuts off really quickly. Take your return line fitting off. Normally I just do the hose there. If you have a 7.3, I believe the 6.9s have the same style, and then the newer ones I thought they upgraded. But I got these nuts loose, and then you can pull the pump back, shake it a little bit, pull the pump back, and out. You know, a little difficulty here, but I have to wrestle it out. Sometimes it's easier if you take the cold idle off to get to that back nut. I'm going to take off this back line real quick as well. That's going to make it pop off a lot easier. Thought I removed it before with that on, but I typically delete this line entirely just because I don't like the olive seals. I run JIC and push lock fittings, and I delete this steel flared line with the olive seal entirely, but we're almost there. Alright, so that's off. Now the rest of the pump should come off and out real easy. Out the back, get to clear some wiring hung up here, some glow plug wiring. Ship back, up and out. Of course, it always sounds easier than it really is, huh? There we go, and she's out. That's all there is to it. And you can reinstall the same way. But that's the easiest way to do it, in my opinion, than having to having to reset the timing gear into alignment. And there you go, guys.